So again, the Most High is making the waves and the wind blow against you, man. Temptation to test your character, right? But you believe in it so strong that you overcome all of this, man. You're a conqueror. You've conquered all of that. Conquering land of Judah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to be strong because the time is coming where they're literally gonna make us criminals, man, teaching this word. When they say, blessed are you, persecuted.
It says servants not great as master.
So,
Yeah, absolutely.
So if Yahweh Shai got humiliated,
That's right.
greatest followers in it.
And his direct disciples did also.
So it says Luke 6 verse 22. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. Right? So they're going to cast your name out for evil, man. And they're going to be speaking ignorantly. Because the people that spake out against Yahweh Shai, they were speaking all kind of blasphemy, all lies, man, that weren't true. And it's going to make you angry as well. The fact that all these people are lying on you. But don't render them again, man. You and Yahweh Shai have character. When all these people were talking rubbish about Yahweh Shai, he wasn't trying to fight them back.
No.
He kept his frame. Like a standing stiff, like a mountain. The waves and the wind blowing against the house, but it remained. That's how you want to be when that time comes. And it's going to be scary too. They're going to cast your name out for you. Meaning the whole world is going to turn on you, man.
They might put some BBC News, you know, CNN, put our faces and write bad things.
Yeah.
That's how you got to be thinking.
Yeah.
The scripture says about, you know, how you meditate terror. But you got to meditate on these last days, man. That's what they're most likely will possibly do. They're gonna make false representations of us on the news.
That's right.
They say, yeah, there's a hate, but that's what they're doing. They're demonizing hate speech on the internet, in society. They're only demonizing manhood. They call it misogyny, man. Or toxic masculinity. They're demonizing any form of manhood. And this true is the literal meaning of manhood, man.
Alpha man.
So it will happen. They're going to come and they're going to demonize the Bible. They're going to come and demonize us. They're going to put our names, our faces out there.
Yep.
You know when you see them newspapers, man.
Yep.
And you see our faces there, looking like criminals. That's how they're going to represent us.
You know this man.
Because Esau, he's the devil, he's the deceiver. He knows how to make something evil and turn it into something good. He knows how to take something good and turn it into evil.
Something.
The rainbow, for instance.
That's right.
The rainbow's a good thing.
It is a good
Esau
thing.
has perverted the rainbow, you know. The rainbow's a good thing, but Esau has perverted it into something negative.
He turned it into something wicked. And turned it into something wicked. Esau, I was thinking about that, I think like a month ago, I was thinking about that rainbow thing.
Yeah.
Esau's got to pay for it. So
That's
definitely
actually a covenant between the Most High and mankind.
yeah, he blasphemed that, man. Esau definitely got to pay for it. Then you got Edomites wondering why we call them the devil when they can't receive repentance or shit, things like that. You can't, that's blasphemy of the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
That's blasphemy of the Spirit.
Which
That's
there
one
is
thing
no
you can't receive
repentance.
repentance.
That's right.
Blaspheme with the Holy Spirit. You know? But anyway, man. I want to go to let me go to Daniel's about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
I was speaking about it today as well.
Right. This is Daniel chapter 3, verse 1. Right? Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, 60. Right? And the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent to gather together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up, right? Then the princes, the governors, the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up, right? Verse 4. Then an herald cried aloud, to you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up. So, what's happening here? What's happening is that Nebuchadnezzar has set up an idol, a statue, that all the peoples and nations that within his empire should bow down and worship. That the sound of the music, the cornet, the flute, the harp, that everybody should bow down to the image and worship. This is verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
That's right. That's right.
Right? We read on. Therefore at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. So all these people were worshipping that image, man. So I say to you this, man. The time is coming where anybody that does not consent to the New World Order, Nebuchadnezzar, the king of this modern day Babylon, Esau himself,
that's right.
You're going to put in concentration camps,
that's right.
death camps, man.
That image can represent the image of the beast, you know?
Exactly.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
That's
You know,
right.
like, the image,
Exactly.
you don't worship it, this image, if you don't worship it, by revelation, you'll get killed.
Get it, man. Get it, man. Get it.
That's right.
That's right. Get that. The thing that I've been is the thing that shall be. And there is no new thing under the sun, man. Yeah. Wherever it may be said, see, this is new, it has been of old time.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Read that again.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
Who's he? Who's he talking about? Because again, he is a mystery, man.
That's right.
Let me, hold on. That's a mystery. He said he have power to give life unto the image of the beast. What's he talking about? Hold it right there. Hold that piece. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Even him. What did we read? He have power to give life unto the image of the beast. The power of the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. Who's the wicked? Who's him? Who's he? If not wearing, who is he?
That's right.
The mystery of iniquity is already working. And it's none other but Esau, man. The so-called white man. The serpent. That old serpent, man.
That's right.
Genesis. And when they say he have power to give life unto the image of the beast, that read that again.
Book of Revelation 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, that's talking about this new world order. Because Esau's slowly pushing it in. He's covertly pushing it in, gradually. Through setting up these 5G towers. And he did that secretly. Esau did that covertly, man. During the lockdown, he just put them when no one was watching, man. So showing you that Esau is very meticulous about what he's doing. Esau knows exactly what he's doing, man.
They put the 5G towers on the 20-pound note as well.
Huh?
The 20-pound note has the COVID-19, the coronavirus logo, and the 5G towers.
So it shows you that they practice their wickedness in the daytime, man. You know, right underneath your nose.
You know what I'm saying? See, Esau, he knows what he's doing, man. But Esau tries to portray in the media that it's all coincidental, that oh my God, there's a virus, oh my God, you need to stay in your houses, oh my gosh, we need to bring out these new jabs, everybody needs to be tested. No, it's all planned out, man.
And that goes back into them speaking through their television, you know?
Television.
Tell a vision.
Tell live vision.
Yeah, tell live vision.
That's his witchcraft. Brainwash
And then the TV gives you fear, and then fear makes you go straight to the solution that they bring. That's right. No?
See what I'm saying?
So they tell us don't play the race card, but they play the fair card. So what they do, they create an atmosphere of fair, and then we willingly, or people in general, just willingly follow because they believe that they have a solution. But the only solution is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. There is no other solution.
Right, because that's their plan. Problem, reaction, solution.
That's right. It's called a Hegelian dialectic.
Okay, yeah, you see. Create a problem, getting the people will react, yeah, and then you bring in the solution, even though you're the one that created the problem. Order of chaos. Order out, thank you.
Yeah,
order
exactly.
out. And I think that's on, is that on the dollar?
Yeah, it is on the dollar. It's on the US dollar.
Order at chaos, man.
Yeah.
So Esau's literally putting it in the faces of the people. That's how arrogant, man. Like how the arrogancy of this devil, and really the level of disdain that he has for the people.
It
That he
demonstrates
will
his
literally
pride.
put it in your face.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Esau, he has a disdain for the people.
Satan comes as the angel of light, you know?
Huh?
Satan comes as the angel of light.
He's the master of deception. He deceived the whole world, man. Showing you that the serpent is a man.
That's right.
They keep
That's
saying
right. That's right.
He
That's
caused
right.
it all.
That's right.
He had power to give life unto he, the man, the man.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, because GOCC, they teach that there's an actual serpent, man, that deceived the world. I was talking with these two
Yeah,
brothers.
I know them, brother.
You know, I went hard in the paint on them. You know, when you got this knowledge, it gives you a confidence. And I kind of shattered one of the guys in there. But he had this pride in him, man. That's why I felt like I had to shatter him. You know what I'm saying?
That was the spirit.
Oprah and Duke is better than secret love.
But he didn't see it that way. He saw it like I harmed his pride, innit? But anyway, what I shattered was, again, is the weapons of our warfare not carnal. They're putting down the strongholds.
That's right.
His stronghold was that the serpent was an actual serpent. I was trying to tell him it's a man, it's a nation of people. That's what I said, the people who the Lord has indignation forever, the people. Collective, man. There's a people called the wicked.
That's right.
Who are the serpent, the man, him. I was trying to let him know that, but I could tell that he was calling off the GOCC, even though he didn't want to tell me that that's who he followed.
That's from the top though, down to the bottom though, man.
Yeah, if the top is wicked.
That's right. You know, they sent anybody into their church to the GOCC.
That's right.
To show you why they're teaching that.
They got Christ in their name as well. They got Christ in their name.
They're not
I don't even know what that GOCC means. I just know GOCC.
gathering of Christ Church. Yeah.
Basically Christianity, man. Christianity with fringes.
What did it say? It said, if the Lord have not built the house, then they labor in vain that build it.
That's right.
If the Most High have not built it, then
That's demonstrated in Acts 13. When Gamaliel was talking to the Pharisees that we're going to punish the apostles.
So what?
Says it's demonstrated in Acts when the Pharisees and the Sadducees, I think they were plotting to kill or punish the apostles, and he basically said, if it be of God, then you are actually fighting against God to leave them. If it's not of God, it will come to nothing. God meaning Yahweh. If it is of Yahweh, then you will be fighting against Yahweh.
This is a little precept, let me go back to the point. This is Psalms 127, verse 1. Except Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except Yahweh keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain.
In vain.
Right, but said the first part is, except Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Right, so if the Most High's name is not in that house, man, then that whole house is in vain, man. They labor in vain that build it. Right. Because the Most High's name is not in that house.
Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street.
There you go. That's why the Most High destroyed it. Because it wasn't founded upon the name of Yahweh and Son Yahweh Shai. IUIC, man, they make mockery of the name Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They see one another in Christ.
They call it Negro Hebrew. They call it Negro Hebrew.
They make mockery. You understand? GMS is the truth, man. But right. Let me go back to where was that? Was you that precept you had about give life to?
Now bring it out.
Hold on, wait, hold on. Go on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 15.
You know.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right, man. Because they're already saying how in certain countries where if you don't take the max, they'll imprison you. I think that's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
The guy, what's he, a president or something? But the guy that's in charge of the Philippines, he's basically saying anybody that don't take the JAB, is in prison.
What's his name? Duterte or something like that. Duterte. Yeah, something like that. Duterte.
You know? So yeah. So they're really trying to push this thing, man. They're trying to push this thing. But then you got a lot of people protesting, man, against this JAB, but it's not being put on the mainstream media. There's thousands of people protesting against face masks and everything like that. So there's definitely going to be some type of standoff between Esau's military and the people, man. There's going to be some type of war, civil war breaking loose, man. I'm telling you, it's going to get bloody in the time to come. A lot of people are going to die. A lot of people, they've woken up to Esau's agenda, man. They've woken up to it. And a lot of this information is being brought out, you know. And then a lot of Edomites that are high up there are exposing their own secret societies, man. There's a lot of blow whistlers.
Yep.
A lot of people coming out with the info, man.
The scriptures say a house divided against itself cannot stand.
It can't stand.
That's right.
Exactly. You got Edomites, man, that are standing against their own people, man. Standing up against their own government. It's talk about there being sedition among them. That's the times we're in, man. That's the times we're in. So we're getting closer and closer. Like I said about the 5G thing, when they put them towers up, exactly when they start the lockdown, that shows that the lockdown was planned. The lockdown was planned. And it's not, like I said, it's not even about the pandemic, man. It's It's about them bringing in the new world order.
That's right.
That's what it's about.
Agenda
That
21.
whole pandemic is just a
cover.
conversion. It's like there's a what do you call it? A diversion. Diversion.
This is how there's going to be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Right.
You know, so they're going to come for us, man.
Exactly. They're gonna come for us. But like I said, this is Daniel chapter 3, verse 7. Therefore, at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, psaltery, psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and the languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. See that? They accuse of our brethren, man.
That's right.
Let me read that again. It says, wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, that he shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. You see that? So there's going to be a remnant of brothers and believing sisters that we're not going to consent to. We're not going to consent to that. Why? Because we know there's a judgment.
That's right.
We know there's a judgment for consenting to Esau's ways, man.
That's right.
Scripture says, learn not the ways of the heathen.
And burning fire and brimstone, man.
Exactly. That CHIP. That chip. That's the mark of his system, man. And the scripture says, and whosoever worshipeth the image of the beast shall drink of the wine of the wrath.
Yeah, that man. Which is the fourth doctrine.
So it's serious times that we're in. So that's why the Most High has called us out of the spirit of the world right now. Because the spirit of this world, man, is all wickedness, alive in wickedness. And it's all going to lead to nuclear destruction, which will be the end of this place, man. So the Most High is calling us out of Babylon right now on a spiritual and mental level. Okay? And to come back into this truth, to come into this stronghold. When I say, as I read before, gather together, O nation of desires, before that the decree come forth, man. You got it, right?
Book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel called them, saying with a loud voice,
Right?
if any man worship the beast
And if any man worship the beast
and his image,
and
receive his mark in his forehead
receive his mark in his forehead
or in his hand,
or in his hand,
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh,
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh,
which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation.
which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. What does the word indignation mean? Righteous anger.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone
in the presence of the holy angels
in the presence of the holy angels
and in the presence of the Lamb.
and in the presence of the Lamb. Now, what is the fire and brimstone? What's the wrath of the Most High's indignation? The nuclear destruction, man. The scriptures speak about the third world, the third world war.
That's what it
So
is.
if any man consent to this new world order and to taking that chip, you're gonna be destroyed, man. Plain and simple. That's why we're going back to Nebuchadnezzar, how you had certain Jews, man, that refused to take heed to the king's commandment of bowing down to that image.
And when those nuclear missiles hit the floor, the concrete is going to turn to brimstone, you know? So what? You know, when the nuclear missiles hit the ground, the concrete is going to break up and turn to brimstone like charcoal. You know, so...
Oh, okay.
Like this sister's in Israel, she is Israel. Right. Where is it? Let me get it. Verse 12. Daniel chapter 3, verse 12. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right. It says Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? Because Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they had real names. Right. Yeah. Right, so let me start from Daniel chapter 1, verse 6. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. That's the real names of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Alright, verse 7, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names. For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar. Right? And to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego. So that's what the real names of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. And they gave Daniel's name was Belteshazzar. So let me go back to Daniel 3 and 12. There are certain Jews whom thou set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Yeah, man. That's right, because it said that there's a remnant, according to election, that won't bow the knee to Baal. That's in Romans chapter 11. Romans chapter 11 verse 1. I say then, have the Most High cast away his people? God forbid. But I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
The Most High have not cast away his people, which he foreknew. What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias or Elijah, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thine altars, and I am left alone, and they seek my life. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved unto myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. And Baal is basically Satan. So that's what this system is, man. It's the worshipping of Satan. Right. Now, when you look at the word worship, it doesn't always necessarily mean to get down on your knees and prostrate yourself. The word worship means to hold in high regard.
That's right.
Or to hold in high reverence.
Exactly.
That's what the word worship means. So when you go to Revelation 14, get that again, get that piece of again. It doesn't necessarily mean that brothers are going to get down on their knees and prostrate themselves before this new world order. This means they're basically
Revelation number 13, verse 15. And he has power to give life unto the image of the beast. But the image of the beast could both speak and cause that as many that fuck it, let me read again. Revelation 13 and 15, and he has power to give life unto the image of the beast. But the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Right. So go to Revelation 14. Is it verse Verse 9 or something like that. Verse 9. Verse 8.
Revelation 14, verse 9. And the third angel called them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast
Right.
and its image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
Right, stop there. Stop there. That's deep, man. So,
Guys, go think about it.
this is why it's so important, man, to be in the stronghold. Because we fear that judgment. Because the precept that you read before said that if any man, he said, you have power to give back power unto the, give life unto the image of the beast, that whoso would not worship him, he will put to death. So Esau's going to come with a death sentence against all of our people that don't consent. But our faith, right, our faith makes us fear the Most High rather than men, man. We ought to obey the Most High rather than men.
I hope it's full of immortality.
Our hope is full of immortality. We believe unto the saving of the souls, man. Those of our people, they don't see afar off. The scripture say when there's no vision, the people perish, man.
That's right.
Because they don't see. Their eyes don't see. But blessed are your eyes for these, son. Blessed are your ears for they hear. Our people that walk past, they don't realize the seriousness of the situation. This is a life or death thing. It's not no game. Our people think this is a game, man. Like when you first come to this truth, you think that this is something that's to get into. Until you're grounded and settled, and you realize this is actually a life or death thing, man.
We're visionaries, you know? Huh? We're visionaries.
We're visionaries, yeah.
Prophet used to say before.
You say before. That's what.
What they're doing is the same before it actually happens, you know?
That's what does it say in Proverbs? It said, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil." That's what he said. That's where prophecy comes from. Foresee. A prudent man foresees the evil, and then what does he do? He hide himself, man. And that's the wise thing to do. But the simple, what do? They pass on, man. And they wind up consenting because dreams lift up fools, man.
That's right.
They believe that this house shall continue.
Yep.
But they don't realize that the wisdom of the scripture says this house is divided against itself. So how can it stand? But they trust in the continuous of it because they trust in dreams, man. Our people, they're foolish, man. They're something they have no what they say.
Even Esau sees that his house is full of about.
Let me get it, man. Jeremiah chapter 4, let me start from verse 20. Destruction upon destruction is crying, for the whole land is spoiled. Suddenly are my tents spoiled, and my curtains in a moment. How long shall I see the standard, and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge, man. Our people are foolish. And that's why they pass on, not realizing they're going to be punished. And in the end, they're going to prick themselves, man. Knowing that they didn't listen to their teachers. One piece of bread.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11, verses 7 and let's say 8, or maybe even 9. So verse 7. What then, Israel, have not obtained that which he seeketh for?
Right, because I read that before, that's the spirit.
Yeah. But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Verse 8. According as it is written, God Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. Verse 9. And David the warder saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them.
Right, so even King David didn't even pray for them. He didn't pray for them.
That's right.
You got guys that call themselves being in this truth, that they'll get on us for not being about the whole of our people.
That's right.
You're not supposed to be for the whole of your people.
Holy is separate.
Yahweh Shai was in you for the whole of his people.
That's right.
He said, I pray for them.
I pray not for the
Yeah,
world.
exactly. So you can't allow your love for your people to override the love that you have for the Most High's will, man.
That's right.
Because like Ezra loved his people. He cried, but then was it the angel, the Most High turned around and said, "You love this people more than me."
That's right.
You understand? The Most High's will is that, according to what David said, man, let their table be made a stumbling stone.
That's right.
A trap and a snare for them.
That's right.
I mean, fuck them, man.
That's right. That's right.
Fuck them.
Man, the most to perish.
Fuck them. Fuck these niggas.
Hand with the wicked, man.
That's right.
Punish.
Fuck the two.
Both shall be thrust through.
Did Jeremiah pray for the majority of his people in the kingdom?
It's two-thirds of our people that killed the prophets. That's right.
That's right.
This is
That's
this.
right.
Jeremiah 12. This is Jeremiah 12. Verse 3. But thou, O Yahweh, knowest me. But thou, O Yahweh, knowest me. Thou hast seen me and tried mine heart toward thee. Pulled them out like sheep for the slaughter and prepared them for the day of slaughter. So that's what Jeremiah said against his own people, man. Hold on, there's another one, man. This is Jeremiah 16:5. But thus saith Yahweh, enter not into the house of mourning,
That's right.
neither go to lament nor bemoan them, for I have taken away my peace from this people, saith Yahweh, even loving kindness and mercies. Both the great and the small shall die in this land. They shall not be buried, neither shall men lament for them, nor cut themselves, nor make themselves bald for them. Neither shall men tear themselves for them in mourning, to comfort them for the dead. Neither shall men give them the cup of consolation to drink for their father or for their mother. Right. Enter not into the house of mourning for them. Don't cry for the two-thirds of our people. Because you really realize that it's the Most High's will. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. The Most High doesn't want to convert or heal them. That's why I said, that Romans 11, what he said, he said, he's given them, the Lord has given them the spirit of slumber, man.
That's right.
That it should not hear.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, it's nothing personal. You know what I mean? It's just the will of the Most High. It's the way it is. So don't pray for them.
Come back in the kingdom.
They'll come back in the kingdom. But at the same time, you know, it can be emotional, man, because you might meet certain brothers, beautiful brothers, man, in the truth, and they'll fall out. Because when the Paul says, you know, I'm going to get it. Yeah, that's it. Philippians chapter 3, verse 18. It says, for many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Hamashiach, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things, man. There's certain guys that's in this that's in this truth, man, that are really the enemies of the Most High, man. So you know, but you know what the end is going to be? Destruction. You understand? So it can be emotional, man. Certain guys who were in this truth, they're still going to be destroyed. They're going to be destroyed. You know? But yeah,
So you gotta fear the Lord, man.
you gotta fear the Lord.
Scary thing, you don't know what he can.
You gotta fear the Most High.
You have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling.
Right. Right. So what was I going in before? In Romans 11, that's right. Romans 11 verse 4. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. And again, 7 represents completion. He's annoying, bro. Still sitting on the bus?
One follower here.
Huh?
He's top of that all day, you got one follower here. He's got a truth.
There's 7,000 men that have not bowed the knee to Baal. And that's a form of submission. You bow the knee, that's submission. You're submitted to Satan. Satan is now your God. When you worship somebody, wherever it is that you're worshiping becomes your idol. That's your God. You revere it. You know what I mean? That's your idol or your role model. For example, I've heard this before, like that's what they call certain musicians, they call them what? Idols.
Yeah. They call them icons too, by the way.
Icons.
Yeah.
Idols, man. Because what do you do with an idol? You worship it.
That's right. You look up to it.
You worship it.
You rate it.
Exactly.
You measure yourself by it.
So, in essence, when it says worshiping the image of this beast, what are people doing? They're patterning themselves after the working of Satan. They're becoming a servant of Satan.
That's right.
And even when you just
Because taking that JAB and the CHIB,
That's right.
you're branded. You're now a servant of Baal.
That's right.
You basically confirm it. Because you can't serve two masters. You're going to cleave to the one and despise the other. So when you worship, when you consent to Esau's decree, what are you basically saying? That you hate Yahweh Shai? Whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it, a lot of people, let's keep it real, a lot of people are going to be unconscious of it because they're deceived. But that's basically what you've done, man. People are going to say, I hate Yahweh Shai, I hate Yahweh Shai. They ain't saying that, but their actions are showing
That's right.
who they with, man. You know?
But that shows you that Esau's a mastermind of psychology. You know? That he can study psychology to make your mind deceive in a certain kind of way.
That's why he is
that's
the
the witchcraft.
deceiver.
That's the witchcraft, man.
Yeah, that's why he is the deceiver.
That's what I call it witchcraft.
That's right.
Where's that? That's
In high places, that's
And
right.
he does it in a way where you think it's a good thing.
It's like when you said as well, when you said to look up to, you know, that makes even that shows yourself that you're lower than.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or even
Absolutely.
to you're on your knees and be lower than in that sense as well.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's stuff for now, isn't it? That's stuff for now. Nahum chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame. And that's happening right now. That's what's happening right now. The whole world sees the shame of America, man. That was founded upon the rape, robbery, the murder of our people. So Esau's trying to blot out the history of how America was founded.
That's right. That's
Trying
right.
to make it look like it was a myth. Slavery was a myth.
What they call
It never
them now? Voluntary workers, something like that.
But Esau, he's got power over definition. He can define things. That's a very powerful position to be in, to define things. To say that Adam, his power is to define the creatures.
That's right.
That's
That's right. That's right. That's
But
right.
Esau, he's basically playing God, man.
That's right.
He's basically playing God. You understand?
Exalted himself as the Most High.
That's right.
You said I am and there was none else.
That's right.
So he is playing, the Bible says that he's trying to play God, man.
Pride lifted him up.
You know what I mean?
Well,
High
cameras
deeds.
everywhere to see
He's
what's
trying to,
going on.
he's trying to define what's true or what's false. Slavery was false. It never happened.
Yeah.
Now, and if you teach it, that means you're a criminal or something like that, man. You're an enemy of the state. You're teaching truth. Can you imagine that? So Esau's turning truth into lies, man, and turning lies into truth.
Make the light seem as darkness and the darkness.
That's right.
Yes, you get it, man. Yeah. That's from Isaiah. That's Isaiah. Esau is the deceiver. If not, where and
who is he?
Who's he? These mysteries are being revealed right now.
They're being
These
made
last
plain on
days,
table.
man. But our people don't want that gift, man. The same gift that will save them. Scripture says, save yourself from this untoward generation, man.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that are, let me read again. Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
Right.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
See, that's powerful, man. You see, through the spirit of even reading that, Esau's condemned, man. And that's through the spirit. That's talking about this guy.
The man of perdition.
It's talking about this devil, man.
Right.
Discerning spiritual things are spiritual. You can see that Esau he's guilty of this thing. This is going to be laid to his charge.
Knowing who that man of perdition is, even though itself is a mystery, like you said, man.
Mystery. Son of perdition.
Son of perdition.
This Colossians 1 and 26 reads, even the mystery which thou hast been hid for ages, see that, from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints.
It's been made manifest, man. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be easy to understand Esau's the devil. Just off of watching those slave movies, man. Just right from there, I said to myself, it makes sense.
It
Nothing
makes
else can
perfect
make
sense.
more sense.
Makes perfect
Why he's being the devil. You see their little evil faces at the lynchings? A mob of 10,000 came to see one brother hanging from a tree, man.
One of those lynchings, Prescott Bush was actually in the crowd. So that would be George Bush's great grandfather was actually in the crowd.
I'm not surprised, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
That man make a push,
Yeah.
And also I say as well, there was a certain Israelite that got killed by Edomites, and basically they accused him of raping like an Edomite woman.
Yeah.
And they obliterated his face, man.
Yeah.
And every single year they go to his grave to show up his grave.
Oh,
So
Emmett
say that
Till.
again.
That's Emmett Till.
Emmett Till.
Say that again, say that again, say that
It's
again.
basically like an Israelite, Emmett Till, that basically got accused of raping an Edomite woman.
Yeah.
So basically what they did was what they did to his face is you can't even find it on the internet anymore.
I know, right?
And every single year they go to his grave
And shoot up,
his grave.
because
See what
they
I'm saying?
put up a thing on his grave.
Yeah.
So he's going to say you can't even find it on the internet. You see.
Yeah, you can't
And you
find
go,
it.
that's him trying to cover up his shame.
And by the way,
That's the shame of America, man.
the woman that accused him, she was on a deathbed and somebody was writing her autobiography and she admitted that she lied.
See that?
So
Their
that's
own,
on
their own
record.
tongue shall fall upon themselves.
Exactly right.
And you saw that their face, man.
That's the
Oh,
nakedness
my
of
days.
that's the
Yeah.
nakedness of the well-favored harlot
That's right.
being manifested.
That's
Man.
right.
See, Esau got nothing to be proud about, man. Esau's been proud for all this time, but now the truth of Esau is being brought out.
That's
And now all of a
right.
sudden he doesn't wanna own his shit, man. Own your shit, man.
You don't want to go
We had to own ours.
Yeah. Exactly. Then Esau, like all of a sudden he doesn't want to own his shit now.
That's right.
No, that's why I respect them devils that come up and curse them out, and then they just take it.
They acknowledge it.
They walk off.
Yeah. Holy shit.
They know it's real. I don't respect them Edomites that it's about my color, it's about my skin color. I don't.
That's a diversionary tactic.
that-
by the
yeah,
way,
yeah, that's
because
that
it's reverse psychology.
Yeah.
So what they try to do is say, oh, it's because of my color. No, we're not talking about color. We're talking about your history. We're talking about the things that you have done. We're talking about the record. It's on the record.
That's right.
Not a color thing. You are that man of perdition.
Again, man, that shows the psychopathy of Esau. It shows how psychopathic he is, man. And his society is based off of deceit,
That's right.
lies and denial, man. Projection and deflection. But let me read that again. Nahum 3 verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. So it says there's a multitude of whoredoms that this man has committed. But this place, man, is all based off of lewd behavior. Whoredoms, man. Everything that these people believe is all whoredom. Everything that's outside this truth is considered whoredom. Yeah? It's all considered whoredom, man. That's why our people, when we started worshiping these different idols, it was considered whoredom.
Yep.
Most I love us
Yep. Yep.
So this place, because there's no truth in it, this place is like a whore. Let me read that. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that setteth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Exactly. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing that was property in America is now being to their shame.
Second Thessalonians 2:4. Who opposes and exalted himself, who that is above all that is Yahweh, all that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Again, that word he again. That word he. Again, giving reference to the man. There's a man we're speaking about. And he's basically trying to show himself that he's God.
Yep.
Trying to define things. Trying to define what's true and what's false. What's a crime and what can be justified. He's in a position of power. You have to be in a position of power to do that now.
Sorry.
The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? And he put evil in the place of good, and good in the place of evil. Anything that's evil is good. That's the whoredoms, man.
It's like scripture say though, for that man to be revealed, man, you have to be a fool in a way first, man. For that man to be revealed.
You see it? That's right. That's right, man. So again, going back to what the brother was talking about, this whole you be worshipping something and not realizing what you're really worshipping. Now when our people consent, they're underneath of witchcraft, man. Because what's the witchcraft? They've been under the trick that this place will continue forever, man. So they'll take that chip and ultimately be destroyed, not realizing that they're giving their reverence to Satan, man.
It's a demonstration of faith, but on the left-hand side. So when they take it, they're demonstrating that they believe, i.e. faith, they have faith, they believe in Esau system. That's a sin that's punishable by death.
When you check it, that's the deepest way you can reverence him, man, is when you take that master.
Because that's basically a Steven Seagal movie, Marked for Death. You mark yourself for death.
That's like a passport taking it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm looking up witchcrafts, man.
But it's funny, the scriptures say, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of their ways. It didn't say some of them or one of them. It said none of them. So anything they're doing, we're supposed to be our Mashim, our tribe. Period.
That's what it says, the sorcery or witchcraft.
That's right.
That's how you know that they control.
And that The witchcraft is the whoredoms.
That's right.
Read again. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. So those whoredoms is the philosophies. Okay, the philosophies are feminism, the perverse sexuality.
That's right.
Which is you know,
The alphabet,
the lifestyle.
alphabet list
Yeah.
with the LGBTQ, all kind of
LMNOP.
LMNOP, yeah, that's right. The alphabet.
Yeah. The alternative lifestyle.
The genders, you know they're talking about genders now.
Yeah. Alternative lifestyle, man.
That's right.
The way of life, the conversation. That's the whoredoms, man.
That's right.
Living like a whore, doing as you will.
Do as I will, yeah. Also another one.
Without, basically, you don't have to listen to the laws and commandments. That's how Adam and Eve fell off, man. Right. They became like hoes. And the serpent came and said, listen, you ain't gonna listen to the Most High, man. You can eat of the tree of evil, man.
That's right.
So that's what Esau's doing. Esau's telling the whole world, forget God, man. That's why atheism is so much on the rise.
Exactly.
Believe in yourself, follow your dreams.
Believe in that, that's right.
Hey, I told you.
Live your best life.
I told you, Alistair Crowley.
That's
This
right.
place is founded off of the philosophy of Babylon.
That's right.
Stems from a witch called Alistair Crowley.
That's right.
The New Age religion. That's the
Right.
whoredoms. That's the witchcrafts.
That's right.
And this wine has made the whole world drunk. This is trying to make the whole world drink of this wine.
That's right.
This witchcraft, man, of doing as thou wilt. You ain't got to listen to the Most High. He wants to create a godless world. Going back to this guy, man. The guy that made the Illuminati, man, I forget his name now.
Weishaupt.
Adam Weishaupt.
Adam Weishaupt.
Because he declared many a time in his writings that he was an atheist, man.
That's right.
A
That's
lot
right.
of time in his writings, he said that
right.
straight up he doesn't believe in God.
That's right.
Even though he was a part of the Roman Catholic Church
Exactly.
at one
I think he
point.
was a Jesuit.
He left.
That's right.
He joined the Freemasons.
That's right.
And then he had plans of creating his own
thing.
his own agenda, his own society.
That's right.
So that's what he did. That's what he did, man. But he wanted to, again, I said this before, he wanted to recruit the members of the aristocracy that are high up, man, and bring them in, and that's how he could plant seeds and overcome the power that be.
That's right.
That's how he could spread his agenda.
Right.
But basically a godless world, man.
Godless society.
Because in his mind, he said that when them two little drunken Edomites came up and they said that religion causes a lot of bloodshed. That's exactly why Adam.
They said God.
It's the same thing. Basically what they're saying. They're saying that religion has caused a lot of bloodshed.
Right.
And that's why Adam Weishaupt said to himself, you know what, he wants to create a world where there is no belief in God, there is no religion. You understand? So that's his justification in his mind. But again, the Illuminati and that whole secret society, that's all witchcraft, man.
That's right.
Paganistic worship.
They call them a New Age religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the same whore with a cup that they're drinking off and getting drunk. But
that's-
that's false doctrine.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why anybody that's not in this truth, you're basically in that New Age religion. All our people, you see them walking around.
Bug out.
This is the New Age religion, man. The New Age religion is no God, belief of no God. Do as thou wilt. That's the New Age religion of Alistair Crowley of Kalima.
That's right.
Look it up for yourself.
All these people are under high level witchcraft, you know, by
High level, those that put upon them strong delusion.
That's right.
Strong delusion
Right.
that they should
They
believe
believe
what?
a lie.
A lie. And who's telling the lies? Let me get.
The great deceiver, the
So
man of
our people are so broken down, they're speaking in some
Who's
rubbish
telling the
tongues,
lies?
man. Broken down, man. Mentally, they've been spiritually intoxicated with bad
This is
stuff.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh,
That's right.
the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee,
That's right.
and thou shalt tread upon their high places. So it said that enemies shall be found liars unto thee. So that's who told the lies, bro. That our people should believe that lie. That our people should believe Esau, man. That our people should believe that the souls of white.
They trust the white man more than their own people, man. That's right.
But like I said, it's all spiritual. You have to understand it's the Most High that's putting the spirits upon our people. You know? He's the one that's doing it. But we can see that. Yep. We have the eye to see that, man.
Yep.
The Most High has given us the gift of discernment.
That's right.
Discern these things. You see our people, they can't discern. Our people got demons on them. Pull one of our people over to the side and talk to this one of our people. So-called black man or so-called black woman, Hispanic man, Hispanic woman. And you see the madness that comes out of it. The things that our people when the Most High has chosen that individual from among us, they are delusions. Just one person, the man, the delusions that come out of it.
You know, I thought I could touch you a bit.
Yeah.
Because I know the other brother, he tells me that he's just dealing with the spiritual. So, you know,
Yeah.
I just got to, you know, I'm still on this material thing. But it's
We're going to go back to Daniels, right? Because we haven't finished Daniels. But there's a piece I want to give.
Sorry, you were saying?
I don't know. I'm the wrong guy to ask.
Somebody else.
You know, honestly, I'm the wrong guy to ask.
You know what? You might get to the, I might get to a stage with you where you just kind of cut me loose.
The Revelations 12 verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, who the devil and Satan, was deceiver of the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Again, talking about a man. It said he, or him. And it said that he, what did he do? He deceived the whole world with his witchcrafts and with his whoredoms. What does the Lord say concerning a witch? Thou shalt not suffer a witch
But you live, they're supposed to die.
So the destiny of the so-called white man is death. His wages is death. And though that they that join hand in hand with him, they receive in like manner judgment.
That's right.
That's why you need to be careful that you be not deceived, man. It says, be not deceived by any means, man. Let me get, hold on. Wait, what's this?
What was it again? Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For wherever man soweth, that also shall he reap.
It says 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
That's right.
Because the delusion is strong.
Tell me
The
about it.
Lord put strong delusion, not weak or delusion, strong delusion. Meaning, no matter how much we try to break these scriptures down to our people, they can't enter in, man. Because they've been deluded, they've been taken astray, man. The witchcraft already got to them. And Esau uses different means of witchcraft. Television, media.
Exactly.
Right? You better say something sensible. I'm telling you. If you say something dumb, go on.
Are you descendant from Israel?
Yeah, we are the Israelites, yeah. You're an Israelite also.
Now tell me something. Why did God stop Abraham from sacrificing Isaac? Oh, I'm on a video.
It's okay.
No, I'm on a video.
Okay, alright.
Why did God stop Abraham from sacrificing Isaac?
Because there was a purpose. Isaac had to bring forth Jacob and Esau.
That's right.
What I'm saying,
So if Isaac was dead, then the Israelites would have never existed.
That's right.
no,
It was a demonstration of faith.
Abraham couldn't have children. And God made him to have Isaac. So if he loses Isaac, God can make him to have another Isaac. So why, you tell me, why God stopped him from sacrificing Isaac?
To test his faith. The Most High wanted to test his faith, right?
You know that sometimes,
Huh?
sometimes you have a child.
Take your finger off. There's no virus, man.
Yeah.
You know at times you have a child, yeah?
Yeah.
And there's a fire there.
Yeah.
And then you tell your child, oh, go and touch it. And as the child is touching the fire, slap his hand and teach him, don't do this. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. God stopped Abraham from sacrificing Isaac because human sacrifice is an abomination to God. Deuteronomy 12:29-32. Read it.
Right.
So your Jesus couldn't exist.
What?
Your Jesus
Yeah.
couldn't exist
Yeah.
because Jesus couldn't sacrifice himself for the for God of Abraham.
But who did?
It's an abomination to God. Like you believe Jesus. Jesus was invented by the Romans.
You don't believe in the Bible?
I believe the Old Testament was written in my language. I'm from the Shanti.
Yeah, Shanti, Ghana.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Old Testament, I can go Exodus 17 verse 7, you see my language written there.
Yeah.
You go Exodus.
So you only believe in the Old Testament? Is that what you said? You only believe in the Old Testament?
The Old Testament, the children of Israel spoke. That's
So,
the history of Israel.
yeah, but the New Testament is also a part of it.
The New Testament was invented.
No, it wasn't invented. See, we're not dealing with
Jesus,
this.
yeah, came from Sarah first Christos. You can Google it.
So you don't believe in the Messiah? You don't believe that he came?
There was the Messiah you're talking about was a slave trader that the Europeans used to enslave black people. And you're standing there talking about this.
See, our people, man, is speaking on. See, this is another deceiver, man.
No, they don't
But you know what? Yeah, you know what Paul said about guys like you? He said, you be accursed, man. See what I'm saying?
your New Testament.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means. And this guy, man,
I got precept too.
there's a spirit on this guy.
Yeah, I've got precept for him too. So this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 14 and 15. And if any man obey not our word by this epistle, or we could even say these epistles,
like
by
Galatians,
this,
isn't it?
Thessalonians.
Go on.
Know that man and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. Because he is a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, admonish him, but he's not going to get it, man. He's not
Well,
going to
yeah,
get
that's what he's saying. Yeah.
it. So we know that man, mark that man and admonish him, but
Yeah.
he's not going to be admonished.
Nah,
So he's spoken.
exactly.
Isaiah 53 verse 3.
Bring it out.
He is despised and rejected of men.
That's right.
A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was esteemed and he was despised, and we esteemed him not.
The scripture says he's rejected of men, man.
That's right. That's right.
When they say that stone that the builders disallowed,
That's right.
now made the chief on
That's right.
the stone, man. Where's that?
And also, there's prophecies about Yahushua in the Old Testament. Like he only pierced his hands and his feet.
Exactly. That was David, I think.
Yeah, so like he was saying that, Yahushua ain't like, he don't know what he's talking about.
Well, Isaac was the Yahushua of the generation anyway. So that was just a trial run for the real deal. This guy's bugged out. He's a bugger. No. God is not mocked.
Matthew 21 and 42.
Bring it out.
He said it was going to rain today.
Yeah.
That's the East Coast food. That's the East Coast food fast, right?
Right, so it said Matthews 21 verse 42. Yahweh shall say unto them, did ye never read in the scriptures? The stone which the builders rejected, the same is become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes.
Right.
The builders rejected, man.
That's right.
That's why, going back to what he said, he's rejected of men. But that same man has become what? Read it. The same has become the head of the corner, man.
That's right. The head, the chief cornerstone.
So you, and that's you brothers as well. People gonna reject us for the gospel sake, but you're gonna be the chief tower of the flock, man. According to what the